Quarterback is always a burning-ish question for all these teams. We try not to make every burning-ist question about the quarterback, but I mean, we go to the Chicago Bears, and that's going to be the one thing that I am most interested to see about them this year is Caleb Williams. There's a lot of chatter. He did things, bad habits. Can he function in an NFL-style offense? Right. Is he really the next Patrick Mahomes?
Right.
I mean, we're going to find out. We're going to find out pretty early because he does. It's not like one of those situations like you mentioned before where he won't have the things around him to actually show his full potential. It should be there.
It's weird. But the number one team in the draft, right? The number one pick. You kind of look at the team and you're like, this is the team that picked number one? Like, that's why you're a little nervous this year.
I don't like it.
Yeah, because like you just said, Green Bay, that we just talked to, they're talented. Chicago is talented too. I mean, the first thing you go, all right, so here's the first thing is there's nothing to worry about on defense. Let's just break it that way. Like what I don't know if you have their roster pulled up or however.
So let me say this. So I will say this because I try to poke holes in the Bears because I hate them, right? And so it's like I didn't want to just give them like a lot of reasons to be optimistic.
So let me hear your holes.
So last year their defense was first in rushing yards allowed per game, but they were 25th in passing yards allowed per game. And I don't know if that's a function of the way the games went or how it was played, but they didn't shut down other teams' passing offenses. They did re-sign Jalen Johnson. They did sign Kevin Byard. They did sign Jonathan Owen, so their safeties are a little bit different this year, but that was a weakness for them last year.
Right. So here's that. It is a great point. Now, what I would love to know, and maybe Pete can look this up because he's really good on the computer here.
Yeah. A cute searcher.
He's cute. He's cute, and he's good on it. He's cute.
What's his neck like? What's his neck like? We gotta.
His neck it could use some work. All right, he could use a few exercises there. But first off, I think if you looked towards the end of the season, like let's say just the last half of the season, I would bet you those numbers are dramatically different. Right? I think a lot of that is early the season, like. That we were messed up, and we don't have a pass rush. And when Montez Sweat got there, I bet you that changed as well, which was somewhere close to the midpoint of the season. Yeah. But I would be interested, and we'll see if maybe Pete can look that up, as to be that right there. And they had a young rookie corner and Stevenson, who they were playing a lot over there, who I think is very good, but not perfect yet. Right, but I think is like, hey, you're good with him and Jalen Johnson as your corners. I like that little combo right there, and Kyler Gordon at nickel. I do, right? So I think that'll change this year. That stat, okay, altogether. And where'd they end up? 12th in defense overall, right? And this is they're aggressive. They play man to man. They get in your face. They don't give you anything, right? So that's where they can be a little bit misleading in. Hey, you got a big play. It was a 50-yard pass, whatever else. But now we've kind of locked you down, and you settled for a field goal or whatever else. They were kind of good in that aspect. Let alone we know their offense was a little, inconsistent at times too. But what was the point I was trying to make? Either way, I guess is what I'm saying.
No questions on the defensive side. Yes. I tried to give you. Montez Sweat, who's their other pass rusher. That would be a question too, but.
The guy opposite of him. You're saying, no. I think
most teams don't have to.
No. So. And maybe that's where Austin Booker, the Dominique Robinson guy, comes in, and they do have a DeMarcus Walker, who's just a really good strong side D end. Where it's like, wait, he's a good player. It's not a sack master, right? Yeah. I think they're shocking to me to where the burning question I think is the obvious question. It's just how good can the offense be, and how good can he be? Right? I don't like a little bit like you kind of said, and like we've talked about with a few other teams. I go, what offensive line? I like their offensive line. Receivers, of course. Running backs, it's one of the better running back rooms in all of football, right? And we know the tight ends are good. So that to me is just like, can they, by week 4, here's the burning question. By week 4, can they play like, whoa, we're putting pressure on you with our offense? Or are they still playing, we're going to play through our defense and we're just going to be a little careful with Caleb, and I hope he makes a play here and there and just doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and we're going to win that way?
Yeah.
But if it's the other way, where it's almost a little Mahomes-ish, right? Where it was like, whoa, week 2 and 3, we're like, what the fuck is this guy? He's taking over the league already, right? He went to the Chargers and beat the Chargers out there in L.A., and then he went to Pittsburgh and threw like 5 touchdowns in the first half, and we were like, holy crap, he's good, right? That to me is the burning question. It's just where they're at there. Because if it is at a level to where it gets to be like, whoa, like there's no training wheels on. They're attacking, right? And with that defense, I'd go watch out, everybody, because the Bears are going to be a real pain in the ass and maybe even a playoff football team.
I think with Caleb, there is a chance it's a little Jameis-ish, right? Where it's just like there are these great plays. But I saw the game against Notre Dame.
I know. Everybody's scored by that. I know.
But I was like, that's the only one I saw him in person play. And so it's like, but you can see that. It's like, could he throw 30 touchdowns and 20 interceptions? Like, it wouldn't surprise you necessarily. I don't know exactly how they're going to work it. Pete has done some research here, a couple of things here.
Okay, cool.
The Bears were the first team in 45 years to hold the number 1 pick without earning it with the worst record or trading up for it that offseason. So they were able to do it without, giving away a whole lot of assets.
So it's
or being
rare
terrible.
for this good of a team to be there, right?
That alone, the way that they were able to orchestrate that deal should give Ryan Poles like a 10-year contract extension, one of the best trades in the history of the NFL. And so without Sweat last season, on the defensive side here, first 8 games, they were 23rd in yards allowed, 30th in pass yards allowed, 26th in yards per pass attempt, last in sacks per pass attempt. So they were bad. The last 9 games, though, 10th in yards allowed, 15th in pass yards allowed, 9th in pass yards per attempt. Still not great in sacks per pass attempt, but everything else improved considerably. You were right. Good job, you. Good job, Pete.
Young team. They had a lot of new players on the defense last year. Well, young guys too, right? 2 new middle linebackers, right? You can't forget that. So I think that, then getting the pass rusher, right? And then let's not forget, we had to fire our defensive coordinator in the middle part of the first half of the season.
Oh, yeah,
Remember
was
that?
Weird, yeah.
Right? That was weird. And it is weird. The story's weird. I'm not going to say it here. I know the story. It's weird, right? But either way, Eberflus had to take over totally, and I'm all for that. Because Eberflus, that's why you got the job, and I think you're a damn good defensive mind. I hope he keeps doing it this year and calls all the plays there too. Yo, what's up? Thanks for watching, homies. You know it's the off-season, but there's no off-season with Chris Simms Unbuttoned. It's the NFL. It goes all year around, all right? So hit subscribe, please, to hear my thoughts on your favorite team, your favorite quarterback, and, hey, how this season might unfold as we get ready for the 2024 season. We got a better picture, clearer look now that the draft is over, free agency. We know who's playing quarterback for certain teams. So, again, thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe. Peace out, homies. Check you out soon.